Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Nama Pranavartaya Suddhajnanaika Murtaye Nirmalaya Prasantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Nitaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Guruve Sarvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Udirayet. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishnam Narayanam Vande, Krishnam Vande Vrijapriyam, Krishnam Dvaipayanam Vande, Krishnam Vande Pradasudam, Janmatyasya Edo Nyayat Yadarasya Arteshu Ibnyasvarad, Tene Brahma Hridayaya Adikavye, Muhyandi Yasurayah, Tejo Barimutam Yata Vinimayo, Yatratrisha Gosmara, Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastagugam, Satyam Param Dhimahi. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarvapava Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Samanastam Namami Harim Param Satchitananda Rupaya Vishvotpadihedave Tabatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vyam Namaha. Yam Praprajantam Anupetam Apedakrityam Dvaipayino Viragakaka Ajugavaha Putredi Tanmaya Taya Taravo Binendus Tam Subha Bhuta Pratayam Manimana Dosmi. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. In the Bhadrashramam, Narada Maharshi is learning from Sanat Kumaras. The Bhagavata Mahatmyam is the Jnana Yagyam that he needs to perform. We saw in the last class, having described the Mahima of Bhagavatam, Sanat Kumara told Narada that this has to be done Satyena Brahmacharyena Virata Shravanam Matam. Matam means a diction, an assertion. You have to do with the bhakti, shraddha, to be truthful to your heart and do the shravanam. But then in the Kali, it is very difficult. Asakyatvat. It is impossible to do in Kali. Therefore, there is a Vishesha way that Sugha has given to follow. What is that way? He said, that is Saptaha Shravanam Matam. Mano Vritti Jayascha Eva Nema Acharanam Tatha Diksham Kartum Asakyatvat. So Mano Vritti Jayam Asakyatvat. You cannot control the mind. Mano Vritti is the vrittis of the mind. Shraddha requires egatvam, egagram. But you can't have Shraddha if the vrittis are coming and distracting you. So in Kali, you cannot really have the control of the mind very easily. So we don't need to feel guilty that we are not able to attain that focus. So that is a problem. Niyama Acharanam. In the last chapter, we will not dwell in deeper into that. Kumaras are giving Niyama Acharanam for Sabdah. Which month, which Tithi, how to organize the stage, how to bring the kalasam, how to put the lamps, how to get the Vedacharyas to come there, how to send the invitation. All that rituals are there. Even that, Asakyatva, we can't do that. Diksham Kartum, also difficult. You can't take a Diksha very easily. Because of the difficulty, you do Saptaha Shravanam. You go and listen to wherever Saptaham happens. So that's where we start in the last class. We will see a couple of more shlokas in which he emphasized the Saptaha glory. Then we see how he explains that even helps those who are doing papams, like you and I, with a katha. Shraddhataha Shravane Nityam Maghe Davadyat Phalam Tat Phalam Shugadevena Saptaka Shravane Kritam. Shraddhadaha Nityam Shravane Yat Phalam. So he's saying, he mentioned before, if you listen to the Bhagavata Shravanam, if you listen to Bhagavatam every day, you attain prosperity in life here and hereinafter. If you're not able to achieve that daily Shravanam, here he's saying, if you do that everyday Shravanam, tat palam, that benefit, you will achieve it by what? Shukadevena Saptaha Shravane Kritam. Kritam means doing it. Doing what? Saptaha Shravane. If you listen to the Saptaham, if you listen to the 7 days of Bhagavata Shravanam, that is equivalent to listening for the whole year. You see, he's giving all kinds of excuses not to escape not listening to Bhagavatam. Every day you read, every day you listen. If you can't do it, at least do for the 7 days. Manasaksha jayat rogat pumsam cha evar ayush chayat kale dosha bhagut vacha saptaka shravanam matam. Okay, he's reinforcing. Saptaka shravanam matam. Matam means it has been told, it has been asserted, you must listen to Saptaham. Manasacha ajayat. Ajayam means not victory. Since you cannot control the mind, pumsamcha eva rogat. Rogat means diseases. Pumsam means purushaha. So you and I, not able to control the mind. We have diseases in the body is not able to sit. Chayeva ayushu. Ayush, the spelling mistake there. Ayushu chayat. The life is reduced. Lifeline is dissipating. Death is imminent. So body is not helping us. Mind is not helping us. Our lifespan is reducing it. All these are what? Kale dosha. Bahut vacha. Bahut means enormous. The dosha in Kali is so much. So again he's saying, one more time, don't worry, all this is happening, but please find a way to listen to the Saptaham, 7 days. Okay. Why is that? He says, Yajnat Garchati Saptaha. Saptaho Garjati Pratat. Tapaso Garjati Prochaisa. Tita Nityami Garjati. Okay. He's going a bit poetic here. Sanat Kumar is saying, Narada, Bhagavad Saptaham is better than Yajna. Yajnat Garjati Saptaha. Garjati means, we normally say Garjati means roaring like a lion. Urja Hetuka Sapta. You don't take it here as the roaring like a lion. Lion's roar is taken to mean lion's noise reflecting its self-confidence. So when you make a noise because you are so confident, that is called Garjana. Here Saptaham is making the noise of confidence. What's the confidence? It is better than yajna. Yajna is very important. Yajnaihi Vishnuhu. The Shruti says, Vishnu is yajna. What is yajna? Yajna means sacrifice, giving away. See, this is the insight. Pravritti margam is a margam in which we accumulate wealth, enjoy everything, and through the enjoyment, we find bliss and we become virtuous and nice. But while you earn things, to enjoy, you have to give up things. That's why yajnas are given. So there are a lot of yajnas, Dravya yajna, where you do the dravyam, upasana yajna, all kinds of yajna. But here, Bhagavatam is a jnana yajna. Jnana yajna means what? Dravya yajna is where you do dravyams. You put the ghee, silk, gold coins into the fire, oblations you give, habits you give. But to do dravya yajna, you need dravyam, you need to earn money. That's why you are allowed to go and make money. So there's brahmanas who are not supposed to earn money. And how do they do yajna? They don't have money. To do dravya yajna, they go and do bhiksha, or they appoint yajamana. Now when we do yajamana sankalpam is what? Yajamanas are those who are legitimate earners of good wealth, and they offer the wealth to do the yajna. But here it says, Saptaham is better than yajna. Saptaho garjati vratat. Vratams you take, you fasting, you take, mauna vratam you do, tapas you do. Tapaso garjati. Tapas, vratam, everything is not as good as Saptaha. And because it is a jnana yajna. What is jnana yajna? In the other dravya yajna, you put dravyams. See, I earn all this money. Oh God, I give it to you. So that is dravya yajna. And gods are pleased and they give you more and more. Because giving is not just putting it in the fire. That is the ritual. That is a divine vow. But the giving is actually giving your resources to others who are in need. When you do the tapas, when you do yajna, when you put money and gold and food into the fire, it's a symbolic way of taking divine vow that I give my properties and wealth to others' benefit. But jnana yajna is where you don't need dravyam. So what is oblation? Oblation is you give your laukika jnanam, your viparita jnanam, your ajnanam. Everything you know in this world is ajnanam. What is jnanam? Somebody is a computer specialist, he knows about computers. Somebody is a space scientist, somebody is a doctor. They all have jnanam about that, but we don't call them jnanis. We don't. They're scholars. But that jnanam is about the laukika, the worldly affairs. But jnanam is that which knows the truth about the self, the truth about the perceiver, truth about the Brahman. That is jnana. So when you do the ajnanam as an oblation, ajnanam, the root of ajnanam is your mamakaram, your akankaram. So in jnana yajnam, you put your ajnanam into this. You put your ahankaram into this. Arjuna was having karma yogi, he was, right? He go to the fight and he goes to fight against the enemies and he doesn't want to do it. He said, why should I fight? Because he got ahankaram. He got his own viparita jnanam. He understood shastras wrongly. Because viparita jnanam, is ahankaram, is ajnanam, all gave him moham. What Bhagavan is trying to do, Bhagavan is taking him from the karma yoga to jnana yoga. Jnana yajna. Therefore, his ahankaram has to be an oblation. Therefore, he destroyed his ahankara. Shreyan dravyamayat yajnat jnana yajna partibha. Sarvam karma kilam jnane parismapyate. In chapter 4 he says, Jnana yajnam is where everything ends up. Sarvam karma akilam jnanena parismapyate. All the actions end up in jnana. So jnana yajnam is paramaushakam. Therefore, when you read Bhagavatam, or listen to Bhagavatam, it sounds like a story, sounds like a lot of legends, sounds like Bhagavan Nama in songs and singing and kirtanas. In all this is the interlude, is the Atma Jnanam, Brahma Jnanam. Then he says, Yogat Garjati, Saptaho Dhyanat Jnanas Garjati. Kim Brumo Garjanam Rere Garjati Garjati. Kim Brumo Garjanam Rere Garjati Garjati. Very poetic. It continues. Yogat Garjati. I am better than Yogam. Dhyanam, Jnanam. Here the Jnanam is Laukik Jnanam. So it is above all this. And Kumara says, Kim Brumo Garjanam. This Garjanam, this roaring confidence of Bhagavatam, Kim Brumo. How can I say? What can I say? Re, Garjati, Garjati. Re here is exclamation. Oh, that is the Garjana. That is the Garjana. So this he completes the Bhagavata Mahatmyam to Narada. Then he goes on to say, all this is happening because, as I told you before, when Bhagavan is leaving this world, after the Krishna Avadaram is coming to an end, Kali is going to start. Uddhava found out that Bhagavan is going to go, and Uddhava goes and prays to him, please don't go, please stay here. But Bhagavan says, all this form are temporal. So see me in everywhere. But then Uddhava still feels very, very afraid of Kali Yuga and say, please, how can we have you all the time? Then Bhagavan becomes Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam, Bhagavatas and Bhagavan, everything is one. So in Bhagavatam, in Shravanam, you are seeing, listening Bhagavan. In pronouncing, reciting Bhagavatam, you're reciting Bhagavan's name. The Anubhuti you get in Bhagavatam is Bhagavan Darshan. So he talks about that story. He tells that. Then when he was talking all this, when all this, you saw the scenery there. Devas are there, Rishis are there, Nadis are there, mountains were there. Who comes there? Bhakti is coming there with Jnanam and Vairagya. When Bhakti comes there, everybody said, oh, how come she comes there? So beautiful to see her. And Jnanam and Vairagya are getting up now. They are getting their rejuvenation now. Their sleep is gone. So everybody was becoming very happy. They were clapping their hands. They were saying, Om Namo Narayanaya. So Kolahalam happens. Then Bhakti is asking, Bhavat Bhratyaiva Kritasmi Pushta Kaliprishnabi Katarasane Kwaham tu Tishtayam Paduna Bhavantu Brahma Idam Tam Keramuchrate. Okay, it's a little bit difficult, but let's go. Bhakti is asking Sanat Kumara, Bhavadbihi Katarasena Adhyaiva Pushtakrita. Okay, we take like Kalipranashtabi. Kalipranashtabi means, pranasham means leaned, waning. I deteriorated in Kali. Who? Bhakti, I. Bhavadhi, because of you, oh my Lord. Pratyaiva Pratasmi. How I become established? How? Katharasena Pushta. By listening to the Bhagavata Katha Rasam, Pushta, I become nourished now. That means I am nourished, my children are nourished, and we are all very well up and going. Now, what do I do? Kvaham. What do I do? Tudishtam. Yatuna. Where do I stay? Now I need a place. I am now all ready, all happy. Give me a place. What do I do? Aduna Brubhantu. Please tell me. Now you tell me. When Bhakti is asking this, Brahma idam tam giram uchire. Giram means very consoling words. Uchire. Uchire, who? Te. Brahma. That Brahma idam. Brahma here means Brahma Putras. The Putras of Brahma, Sanat Kumar. So having listened to Bhakti, Sanat Kumaras are saying this consoling word. Bhakteshu Govinda Sarupa Karthi Premaik Datra Bavaroga Hantri Swapmuncha Tishtasva Sudaisya Shamshaya Nirantam Vaishnava Manasani. Okay, Vaishnava Manasani. Okay. Bhakteshu Govinda Sarupa Karthi. Okay. So we take it like this. Satvam means sa tvam. Sa. That bhakti. Tvam. Oh bhakti. He is calling you. Oh bhakti. What kind of bhakti you are? Bhakteshu Govinda Sarupa Kararthi. Bhakteshu. In the minds of bhaktas. In bhaktas. What does he do? Govinda Sarupam Kararthi. Kararthi means one who is making it happen. Sarupam. Govinda Sarupam. Sarupam means it is one of this Krama Muktihi. That means Bhakti makes the bhaktas to become muktas. How does she do that? She is Premaika Datra. Datri means embodied with Prema. Prema means love, pure love. Bhakti, you are giving mukti to bhaktas. You are Ananta Surupam. Prema Surupam. Because of that, Bhavaroga Hantri. Hantri means destroyer of things. What does she destroy? Bhavarogam. Bhava means samsaram here. You are love embodied. You destroy the samsara rogam. Because of that, you give mukti to bhaktas. Sa. I mean, that kind of bhakti. So it's a kind of a visheshanam for bhakti. So what do? Vaishnava Manasai, in the minds of the Vaishnavas, in the mind of those who are praying to Vishnu, who are praying to the Parabrahman. Tishta, you say that. How? So, Dairya Samshraya Nirantaram. So you stay in the minds of the devotees. How do you stay? Eternally you stay. How? So Dairyam. With a good confidence. He is giving encouragement to Bhakti, because Bhakti was so afraid of this Kali. Don't worry. Go into the devotee's mind, stay there eternally. So what does it mean? The insight is, if you pray to God, if you do Bhagavata Shravanam in your mind, Bhakti will come and she will indwell into this. So we stopped there for the Bhakti's resolution. The problem that Narada took ownership of has been resolved. Bhakti is happy, Jnana Vairagam is happy. She can now happily go to Bhakta's hearts and be eternally dwelling there. Then Narada asked the questions. Okay, thank you so much. I understand now. You have told me anybody who listens to Shravanam will get the Yagaloka Prapti, Paraloka Prapti. You also warned me that whoever do not listen to this, attain Chandala embodiments. But I want to ask you, Narada says to Sanat Kumara, what happens to those sinners who have done Panchamahakar papas, There are a lot of papas, and Shrutis are talking about 5 great sins, There are infinite sins, stealing, adultery, murders, lying, living like a parasites. So all those people, what is a gadi for them? You see, this is the Rishi's view. They want to bring salvation to everybody, emancipation to all. Would they get salvation? Then Sanat Kumara says, yes, they will get salvation as well. Everybody. So there are a lot of slogas. It explains different papas, and everybody will get salvation of it. By what? By taking Shravanama Bhakta. So it's not giving you an allowance. Therefore, you can go and do papam and come back and listen. That doesn't work like that. If you're done papam, see the papam, when you start realizing, so that's why, when there is a lunatic who does a murder, the court doesn't really punish him because he's lunatic. He doesn't think. He cannot see it as a sin. But a murderer or a liar, a thief, an evil-minded person, the moment he thinks that what I have done is evil, then progress happens. Because that little noise, we try to suppress sometimes, the mind comes and tells you, this is not the right thing to do. Don't suppress it. Let it come out. Because when it comes out, when it takes the center stage, it is going to digest your problem. Don't worry about what has happened. It's going to take you away from this. So when you watch like this, you will attain salvation. So it goes through all this and come back to this sloka, which I found it interesting. He says, Kayena vacha manasapi patakam nityam pragurvanti shadahane hadena ye parasva pushta malina durashaya saptaha yagyena kalopunantiye. Shataha means, shatam means who is naturally, evilness is there. Inherently, I am evil. Hatayana means some are not naturally, but they are imposing because of some desires. So therefore, either naturally you are bad or through imposed reason, nityam, whoever is doing, kayena vacha manasa api patakam. You do all your action by physical body, from your words, you hurt people, or from your mind. So kayena vacha. In all 3 aspects of your karyams, if you do patakam, like what? Parasva pushta. You inherit your nourishment from eating somebody's wealth, like a parasite. Even if you do that, nityam pragurvanti, you do it every day, this kind of a papam. What happened? Saptaha yajnena kalau punantite. Punantite. Punantite means you get punyam. By saptaha yajnena. A lot of words here. Saptaham as in yagyam. What kind of yagyam? Jnana yagyam. You may give a dravyam, everything, but you must go there as a jnana yagyam. If you go as a jnana yagyam, what is your oblation you take? You take your ahankara, your ajnanam. That means you become submissive. All this is given in the Saptanga Vidhi. You have to be really, really submissive. Just because you know Vedas, just because you know the Puranas, you don't go there with this scholastic arrogance. You go there with submission. So you can achieve. So this, he finishes Bhagavatam as a solution for good people, bad people naturally bad, imposed bad, sinners, everybody gets salvation. So therefore, this is a Kali Yuga Aushadam. But in Narada's mind, he's a Paropakari, he's still thinking, well, this happened to Parikshit. Parikshit was a very strong person in his will. His parampara is so much Guru parampara. So how does it happen to ordinary people? So knowing this, so Sanat Kumara in the next chapter, starting with a word saying, Atrate Kitayishyama Itikasam Puradanam Yashashravana Matrena Pabakani Prachayate. Atra, now, te, oh Narada, for you, Puradanam Itikasam Kitayishyamaha. I'm going to tell you, what is it? A Puradana, a very old, ancient legend. It's Puranam. But Itihasam. Itihasana. This is how it happened. It's a history. The Puranam is, as I told you, Puranam is not, now we use the word, it's all mythology, myth. Please never use the word myth. It's not a myth. What you do not know is always a myth because it's mystical. But it's a history. Happen in a way. So I'm going to tell you why. What is that? Yashasravana Matrena Pabakani Prachayate. By listening to which you will get the Pabam come. So there's a story. I will just briefly tell the story. This is the whole of the chapter 197 in Bhagavata Purana. You might have heard this story before, but I'll try to make it brief and relevant. So once upon a time, this is Sanat Kumara saying the story. In the banks of Tungabhadra river, there was a very pious Brahmin who was living in a village called Kohala. Kohala is a village that he lives. His name is Atmadeva. He is a Vishnu Bhakta, Hari Bhakta. He has done Veda Dhyanam. He is reasonably rich, affluent. And he married to a very beautiful lady from a nice family. Her name is Duntuli. Duntuli is a name. Duntuli actually means scattered thinking. Duntuli is a very nice lady, beautiful lady. But she has got her own way of conducting herself. She's much more towards vanity. She likes to keep herself fit and beautiful. In a way, she's not very much keen to have a child. But even though they were tried very hard to have a child, they could not have. They give a lot of things in Yagyam, they give Dhanam, Tapas. But this was hurting Atmadeva very much. So Atmadeva reached 50 years of age, for example. Still there is no child. In those days, the strict followers of Shastra would always aspire for a putra. It may look like very chauvinist in these days, but there is a reason for it. The word put means hell, darkness. One who removes the darkness, one who removes the hell for the parents is called putraha. Also putri, even the daughter, all the same. A lineage, a children are considered to be the solace, the means to make the parents to reach a good prapti, escape the darkness of the hell. How is it possible? We will understand it. Tangibly, it's possible by the Shastras, when you believe the Shastras, when the children continue to do certain rituals, tarpanas, vidhis, this will help those deceased parents and the elders to reach salvation. We'll see how. But that responsibility is given to Putra. Is it a privilege, you think? It's kind of privilege, but it is a responsibility. It's a liability for the Putra to carry the father's job to continue in the line. What about the Putri? Putris are given to carry another lineage. That's why the Kanyadanam, what we do, is the biggest of the yajnas that the parents can do. Why? They are giving away a Putri, is equivalent to Putra. Putri or Putra can do these rituals for parents because they remove the Put. But what they do, what the Shastra says, when you do Kanyadanam, you give the Putri who has a capacity like the Prithvi to bear children. The boys cannot do, men cannot do. That Mahatmyam is only with the ladies. So the Kanyadanam is giving away my treasure to bear the children of your lineage. Therefore, I give the Dhanam. Kanyadanam is the most important part of the rituals in the marriage. You give away, you achieve punyam. That's why people mistake it, In those days, they only look for the son, not for the daughter. Absolutely not. They look for both because your daughter gives you an opportunity to do Kanyadan. Ikaparasukam, you get through. And you do the Putra to get the moksha. Okay? But here what he says, Atmadeva says, I don't have Putra, I don't have Putri. I need something. So what am I going to do? All my studies are going to go waste. I'm going to be in the Naraka. So he believed in that way. So he was one day panicked. And then he wandered into the woods. He goes there walking around, thirsty, hunger, and you see a lake, a beautiful lake. And then he goes and drinks some water and sits in the lake. That time, a Purusha is a Siddha, a Jnani. See, we saw before, Jnanis are in the Punyatirthas. They have wandered on the Punyatirtha. He comes there to drink water, and seeing him, Atmadeva being a Punyatma, you're able to see the Siddha Purusha. He goes to him and falls at his feet and says, look, I am doomed. I want to do Atmahatya. I want to die myself. I don't want to live. And he's asked, what's happening? He says, I don't have prapti of a putra or putri. Siddha Purusha thinks for a while and he looks at him and says, look, he knows that he has no prapti for 7 janmas. So he tells him, you don't have the prarabdham to have a child. So be happy. Don't worry. If something doesn't happen to you in life, it is a blessing. Don't think, children is going to make you happy. Now, many times we know children are giving pain to us. See, family life is very special. You see, why you live in a family? Because it is the God's creation of a very positive entrapment for you to have joy and sorrow. All your sorrows, where do they come from? Not because somebody going on the road, no. Sorrow comes because somebody dear to you hurt you. Somebody dear to you is not well. The body which is dear to you is not well. So all the dukkham, same as sukham, comes only from your belongings. So sukha dukkham is samsara. So God says, you've taken this janma and you get out of the janma. When the sukha dukkham you have to expend is expended. Okay, God, what do I do if you make me in this world? I wander around as nobody. I need to create sukham for me, dukkham for me to expand. Give me a way. God says, don't worry. I put you in a family. You're born to parents, your siblings, aunts, uncles, in-laws, friends. Enjoy life. Bhogam. But you see, you have taken a commitment to go to the family life to enjoy both happiness and sadness. So don't complain, I'm getting problem. That's what you are given. It's a blessing because more problem I endure, more sins I destroy it. Therefore, whoever makes me angry, whoever hurts me, I pray to them. I'm thankful to them. Please, you hurt me. Fine. I take it. So he tells all these things. What do you know? You don't have a child. That means God has given you your power, your sugar dukkha will come from the world itself. You don't need to invent anymore. You live there, come back to me. So a barren mother doesn't need to feel ashamed. A bachelor who doesn't get married, who doesn't have family, doesn't feel depressed. No, it's a freedom given to you. But he is Atmadeva, he's a Mimamsika. He said, I need to do the ritual. No, please give me a child. Then he says, look, I have little power. I can use the power to give you a child. But if you remove your destiny, you will suffer. Now, can you remove the destiny? We always think, some say Hindu religion is destiny-oriented, fatalistic. Completely wrong. If it is all destiny, that this will happen exactly as it is, life is boring. Why should I do anything? Why there is karma? God is not a fool. He doesn't make everything as per his plan. And then he watches it. It's a boring movie. He's a very creative artist. What does he do? He creates everything and gives you freedom. Artificial intelligence to us. My intelligence is artificial intelligence one. It's intelligence borrowed from the Chetanam. So he gives you an envelope. There's a boundaries drawn. The dharma is you can do whatever you want, but if you start messing around my universal order, I come as a Krishna, I come as a Shiva, I come as a Rama, I'll kill you. Because sambhavami yuke tam samsthapanarte. But within your freedom, you see the drones fly or aircrafts fly, the aircrafts fly in a flight path, the trajectory. The trajectory has got a volume. They can fly a particular pathway, altitude, dimension, they can take a freedom. Pilot is not driven in a thread. He can move around a bit, but in an envelope. So same way, the destiny is an envelope. There's a will, there is karma palam. That's why you can do prayatnam and change your destiny. Change is not to escape the destiny, but dilute the impact of it. The efficacy can change. When somebody gives you hot rasam to drink, the rasam is hot. What do? You put some water, dilute it. You still drink the rasam. The same hotness that somebody put in a rasam goes inside you, but diluted. Same way, you can do prayatnam. Prayer is a prayatnam. When you do yajna, it's a prayatnam. What is this prayatnam? This prayatnam is what? Getting God's attention. So all these are karma, satkarma. So he is telling you. So he was telling Atmadeva, please don't change it because the story of Chitraketu. He's saying, the story of Sagaran. He's quoting all this. Sagaran is a king born to two pious people, Subahu and Yadavi. Puranic episodes. And they, similar to Atmadeva, they pray for child. They don't have a child in the Janma, but they really pray to Angirasa Maharshi. Now Angirasa says, okay, look, this is not good, but I'll let you have a child. But when the wife was pregnant, she got a curse from somebody else. Duratma curses the mother. The curse has blocked her womb. The child cannot come out. For 7 years, she had pregnancy. Then garam means poison. Sagaram means a kind of poison. The child was born, it's called Sagaraha. He becomes a king of Ayodhya, and it all comes in the Balakanta of Ramayana. So he was quoting them. So Sagaras have time. Sagara, Chitraketu, same way. Chitraketu was, the story of Chitraketu, he was childless. Again, he says, I want a child, and he really asked for the child. The Rishi says, okay, if you want it, I'll give you. So he got the wife is pregnant, 10 months. She was, with all the enthusiasm, the child is born as a stillbirth, dead child. He said, I nourished a dead body in my womb. So they go to the Rishi and pray. And the Rishi says, I can't do anything. No, you must do something. So he does the water prokshanam on it. The child gets up. And because it's the Rishi's water, Punyatirtham, it becomes a Jnanavan. It says, Rishi, you gave me birth. You are my father, not them. You are my father. I can't be that son. And you gave me Jnana Snanam. And I'm questioning myself, who am I? What is this world? So he become a Brahmajnani. So Maharishi says, look, I can't do anything. So Chitraketu therefore become Jnanavan himself. He says, oh, this is the case. This is life. Why should I aim for children? Guruji, give me Diksha, give me moksha. Then like Parikshit gone through the Jnana Yajnam, the Maharishi gave him the Jnana Yajnam, and he become a Mukta. This is like a story. So the Rishi is telling Atmadeva, do you want all this? He said, no, I want it. Then he says, okay, if you still insist, give this mango. When Atmadeva was complaining to him, he says, look, I don't have a child. My wife is barren. The trees in my garden doesn't fruit. A cow in my Goshala doesn't give birth. So he gives him the mango. Take this mango. Go and eat the mango. Ask your wife to eat it. But she has to be a pativrata. She has to be a bhakta. She has to do the vridams. She has to do the nice things. You live happily. But if you're not, the child that is going to be born is going to give you trouble. So Atmadeva is happy. He prays to him, comes home, give it to Dundali. Dundali she is 50 years old. She get panic. Am I going to have a child? Wow, I don't like it. It's going to shape my body. My tummy is going to be ballooned, and the child is going to be delivered delivery may be in a problem. It may be wrongly positioned. So I may lose my life. And during the pregnancy, I need to eat things which I don't like to eat. Oh, this is going to be one kind of a hellfire. But I can't tell this man. But she tells her husband, okay, I will eat it. So husband is happy. He's doing Adhyayanam. He's going around the yatras, giving this thing. Dundali calls her sister. She said, look, I'm in a panic mode. What do I do? The sister who already has children, she's pregnant at that time. She tells, don't worry, I am going to deliver a child. You tell your husband that you have eaten it and pretend that you are pregnant. When I deliver the child, I give the child to you. Give me some money because my husband needs money. He doesn't care. I will take the money and give the child to you. Okay. That deal done. What about the mango? Well, this mango is now 3 days old. Go and give it to the cow. Let's see this Rishi's words come true. So the arrangement is done. Dunduli give the mango to the cow. Days passed, and she pretends to be a pregnant woman, put some pillows in her head, stomach, she acts. Atmadeva doesn't really understand. Finally, Dunduli's sister delivers a child, and the child is given to the Dundali. Atmadeva was so happy. So the whole village is happy, and he's celebrating it, give them food to everybody else, money to everybody else. In 3 months' time, the cow also delivers a child. Surprisingly, the cow delivers a human child with a long ears like the cow. Don't think it is impossible, Now science is proving that you just need a womb to incubate. The chromosomes can form any kind of body. So a beautiful human child was born because got a long ears like a cow. The child is named Gokarna. The Dunduli's stepchild that is borrowed is called Dundukari. So the both children are growing up. Dundukari becomes a bad person. Of course, you expected this. Gokarna becomes a nice person. Dundukari cheats everybody else, steals, he beats up everybody else, cruel to their mother's father. One day he even comes there with the whip, asking his father the money, and his father got very worried. While Gokarnan was pious and virtuous. So Atmadeva one day decided, this is hell. I cannot live in this life. I will commit suicide. So he goes out to the wood. There he saw Gokarna. And Gokarna looks at his father and says, Father, why are you so sad? I'm going to give my life away. See, Atmahatya is a very great sin. You cannot take your life. You don't have the right to do it. So Gokarna gives him upadesam. See, the son is giving upadesam is a great virtue. Father is a guru, is called a Mahaguru. It's quite common to have Mahaguru because generally fathers who know the knowledge can impart to the children. But a son giving a guru is a very great session. Like Lord Muruga was teaching to Lord Shiva. So he says, Asaraha kalu samsaro dukkarubi vimokaka sudakasya tanam kasya snehavan chalatuvansi. We'll take a little bit more minutes, 15 minutes more today to finish it up. So he's saying, this life is asara. You may remember now the Bhagavad Gita, Vajagovindam we learned. Moha Mudgaram. All that is coming out. This life is asaram. This samsaram is dukkharupam. Vimoham. Sudaha kasya. Sudaha means who is a child, who is a children, who is a son. You think he's a son? He's not your son. He's another jiva that comes in. It goes into you. And it may take your nose, it may take your eyes, it may have an embodiment of your gene. It is borrowed because it lived in in both your bodies. But it is a different jiva. Sutaha kasya. Dhanam kasya. All your property. For who this property is? You just go one day. You have the bank balance and everything. You don't want to give it away to anybody. Even if you give a will, you write a will, you say, should I write 100%? What happened? My child has, children have absconded me after that. Let me keep something. Let me not sign it until the last day. But you are gone. Who takes the money? Nothing comes with us. Not even a pin. So he says, Snehavan Chalate Anisam. Snehavan, here the sneha means attachment. If you have attachment to things like, please don't mistake me, I'm not saying you must hate your children. Detachment is what you need. Like, when you play this Monopoly game with your children, Monopoly is to enjoy life. You transact with cash. You buy properties, fictional properties. Your child thinks it's real, right? When it gets lost, it is crying, When the money is lost, it's crying. You are there. You are also losing money. You don't cry because it's a game. But you're engaged. You still want to win, but you engage. Life is like this. There's nothing to worry. nothing to be attached to. This is Mahavakya. I mean, you can talk about it for one day, this kind of a shlokas. But this is what the essence of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam just throws these pearls inside, eluded into this Khanda. So he says, Nachentrasya sukam kinchit, na sukam chakravartinah, sukam asti viraktasya, munere kanta jivina, ekanta jivina. Na cha intrasya sukam. Even the Indra doesn't have sukam. You think if rich people are happy, no. Kinchit, not even a little sukam. Chakravartinah sukam. If you are a big rich man, Adani or Tatas or no, you go and listen, their problems are bigger. Sukam is not there. But where is Sukam? Sukam asti. Where? Viraktasya munihi ekanta jivana. Sukam is there. Where? In viraktas, who are unattached. Munihi. Munihi means one who is got a steadfast focus on mokshitvam. Paramananda mukti. That's where your focus is. Ekanta jivana. Ekantam. Ekantam is not just going. Ekantam is not loneliness. Loneliness is nobody's around. You are alone. Ekantam is ekatvam. Anything can be there. You are there unattached. So therefore, the living in a family, amidst all these fears, amidst all this tragedy, you live there as a satyam. That is, you are a munihi. So the son is telling all this to the father. Mubajnanam prajarupam mogato narake katiki nipitishyati dehoayam sarvam tektva vanam prachaha. Okay. This ekantam, I tell you, he is telling, Gokarnam telling him, you cannot be here. You go to Vanam Prachaha, go to the forest. Why? Praja Rupam Ajnanam Munja. Praja, here Praja is son. Praja Rupam, thinking about the son, Ajnanam, that is nonsense, ignorance. Muncha, give up. Father, give up all this. Because Mogataka Narake Gatihi. This kind of moham, this delusion will put you in narakam. Because when you think about what I'm going to be in life, you become that. You become a putra bhasham, you become like Dasharatha. With all this thing, he was full of tragedy. So I am Sarvam Tyaktva Vanam Pracha. So he give up now everything, go to the forest. He drives him to the forest. Because if you're dwelling on this samsara, you will be forever wandering. So he goes away. Gokarna also goes away. But this guy, Tundukari, who was now bringing prostitutes into the house, harassing his mother, the mother could not bear it. She drowns herself into the well. Then he has nobody. Money is dried out. All these women that were with him force him to get money. He goes and steals. One day he stole from the palace lots of money. These ladies are thinking, this man is stealing from the king. The king finds out, he's going to kill all of us. We'll take all this money. This Duratma has to be killed. There's nothing wrong. King is going to kill him. So I can kill him, they thought. So all these women put his rope around his neck when he's sleeping. Tighten it up. Put pillows on his face. He's still not dying. Then they take the burning coal, pour on his face. When he dies, they throw him into the mud. Then they go away with all the money. So this guy, Dundukari, dies, but died a miserable death. So he is, what is death? See, this is the big question that all the Shastras, all the religions shy away from this. They bring a story about death doesn't exist, or death exists as the end of it. Or you come take another body. Nothing resolves this problem except Vedanta, except Advaita Vedanta. It does it in a beautiful way, in two ways. A perspective of your Atma and a perspective of your experience. You understand this? Life is an experience, a continuous experience. To experience, you need Deha. Experience is Bhogam and Dukkham. So death means a person is not there, right? The person is not there. So before a person is born, can you say the person is died? No, the person is not born. The person is born. And one day he is gone. He is dead. Therefore, the person is not there before the birth, not there after the death. It's in between. Avyaktani bhutani, vyaktya madhyani, bharata. Avyakta nidaranyev. Vyakta means coming out. Avyakta means unmanifest. It manifests in between. In the beginning, it is unmanifest. Then it is unmanifest. Therefore, death is not destruction. Death is getting back to that unmanifest state. You cannot say that I will be dead one day, therefore mine is end. No, I will not die. You will not die. This body will be discarded. I am there. Well, you use a different word, manifest and manifest. But don't I have to experience this? Yes, you experience it because to experience you need upati. You need body and mind. You experience happiness in your mind. You experience taste in your body, sweet, bitter. But we gone back to Tattva Bodha now. We go back to Tattva Bodha. Experience means you need an experiencer, an experienced object. Something is to experience, that is Atma. What is experienced is not Atma, Anatma, a subject and object. Therefore, if I see as an Atma and Anatma for time being, everything that is an object in this world will manifest and unmanifest because they come madhye, vyakta madhyani. My body came, therefore it will go. Krishna came, therefore you will go. Rama came, you will go. You cannot pray, you can come back, but you will go. But what will not go is that which will not come. Na asato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sattva. That which is never go away. So the subject will never go away. Okay, therefore, from an Atma point of view, death is not there. But what about this Anatma point of view? What is that experiencing it? Well, that's called a Jiva Bhava. If I have the difference of Atma and Anatma, therefore I have a Jiva Bhava. If I don't have a difference, I am Advaiti. For me, there is no birth, death, moksham is there. Well, I happen to be this body, but I am Egatvam. But if I see it as you and I see it, then I am a Jiva. I suffer. Well, then what suffers? Is the body suffers or the mind suffers? Mind suffers. For the mind, body is an instrument. When something is hot, I am diabetic, my body is hurting. Well, body is not hurting, your mind is hurting. Mind is feeling the hurt in the body. So mind is the karta, bhokta. Does the mind get destroyed when it die? No. Only the body gets down. What happens to the mind? Because it is still holding the difference of Dvaitam, and still it carries the asha, the karmas, it is wandering to find another body to enjoy this life. Now, this transition stage is what we call death. So, if you are a jignasu, mumukshu, aspirant of Vedanta, you don't afraid of the death, but you find a way how I can decouple the mind to be achetana from the chetana. How can make this jiva's burden to go away, ajnana to go away? Or if I can't do that, how do I make the jiva to go with the virtues? But in Tundukari's case, he was full of papa. But this transition happens, not immediately it finds a body. This is where the Puranas comes in. Once you know now, not the Vedanta, not this Advaitam in picture, you need to follow the Dvaitam. The difference is there, the rules are there. If you see things different than you, then you need to follow things that is given. What is the rules given? Follow the path of death, deceased. They get out of this body, the Jivatma, Chitabhasam goes around, it carries its burden, it goes to different lokas. Lokas are where you have experiences. And there is a loka where it has to reach. That loka is called Piturloka. But the Piturloka, you cannot reach. If your papas are too much, you get burned before that in Yamaloka, in Naraka. Even to hell you can go. Heaven you can go. Piturloka is where you have been judged and you are waiting to get to other embodiment or to other elevation. So the transition from this jiva, from the predam to the pitirlokam is a long journey. This journey is supposed to be halted or placed in the dark side of the moon. Pitirlokam is in the beginning of the darkness of the moon. So because it is going there, it has to have something to eat. Because you know what is going is a mind. What is carrying the mind? The prana. The prana is what you inhale and exhale that gives this, it's kind of rope that binds the mind with this chaitanya apashan. As long as this prana, there is thirst and hunger. You say, I feel thirsty. You feel thirsty because you are breathing. You feel hungry. You feel hungry because you are breathing. The body is insentient. Body cannot feel thirst. It's just a piece of wood. Because you are breathing, it creates hunger, thirst. But when the breathing is gone out of your body, but goes to the mind will feel hunger and thirst. Because breathing is there. But where is water? Where is food for them? That is why you do tarpanams. You do water. You do things. Don't ask this question, can this water go there? Of course it will go there. Now, if you sneeze, the weather model of the great companies that do weather model will get affected. Nobody can predict weather because everybody's sneeze will change it. Such the power of subtlety in life. So the tarpanas that you do, that you have to do, is, would you ever see your parents or grandparents suffer without water? You feed them. That's why you do tarpanas with these. But if you cannot do tarpanas, if the parents don't get the tarpanas, if they have a lot of papas, they become a ghost. They wander. They look for salvation. They need to do the pitirloka. So this Dundukari was like that. He's roaming around like a ghost. Gokarna was in Kashi that time. He hears his mother's death, Dundukari's death. He goes to Gaya. Gaya is, as you know, is a great place where I do Shraddham. He do the Shraddham there for them. You know, Gaya, Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, Avanti, Dwaraka, Kanchi. These are kshetras are supposed to give you mukti. So they can do Shraddha. So we won't dwell into that. So he did everything. And he comes back to this place to see the place. When he comes to the place, he saw the destructive house there and complete like a rubbish yard, and he sleeps for a day on the night. When Gokarna was sleeping there, he gets nightmares. Dundukari comes as a ghost, he comes as an elephant, as a snake, as a camel. Try to create nightmares for him. Gokarna couldn't take it. And he suddenly gets up and say, who are you? What is your problem? You look like a wandering goblin and something wrong. How can I help you? Then the ghost realizes, this is my brother. And then he falls on his feet and says, look, I am Dundukari. This is what happened to me. I did so much of papam. Gokarna says, oh, yeah, I heard about it, but I did Shraddham for you in Gaya. You should have been liberated. That's what all the Shastram says. Any papis can get liberated. It says 101 janmas. Like 24 of father, 20 of mother, 16 of wife's lineage, 12 of sister's lineage, 10 of aunt's lineage, 8 of mother's sister's lineage. Like that, it enumerates number of ancestors. Papam get dissolved if you do Gaya Shraddha. So he says, look, I did all this. He said, no, my papam is much beyond that. Then he says, look, if Gaya Shraddham cannot solve this problem, I have no idea. What can you do? But I want to give you emancipation. Please stay in your same form. I can't even do tarpanas. This water cannot going to help you out. Suffer. But I'll come back with a solution. So like Narada was going around finding a solution, Gokarna also going around finding a solution. He comes to Kashi. And then there a lot of Brahmanas are doing either Jainam. He goes to them and asks for help. They said, look, we do not know. Let us ask the Parabrahman, Surya Bhagavan. So Surya was up in the sky, Aruna, in Gangadwara. They do the Aditya Hridayam, they pray to him. Then Surya blesses them and they say, Gokarna, go and then do Saptaha, Bhagavad Saptaha. So Gokarna comes there with along the Brahmanas. They come to the place where Kohala village was there. And he builds Saptaha Vidhi. He knows, like what Kumara has told Narada. He follows Saptaha Vidhi and start this Bhagavad Saptaha. So Dundukari comes there as a ghost. He couldn't sit anywhere. And then Gokarnan puts a bamboo stalk. It's got 7 knots. Bamboo has got knots there. In the hole of the bamboo, Dundukari goes and hides. So Bhagavad Saptaha happens. How Parikshit was with the intense purpose of emancipation, listened to Sukha. This goblin, Dundukari, has got such a desire. So he listens. So this insight here is, when you do the Shravanam, when you listen to the Bhagavad Katha, you must have that kind of intensity. As if there is no life. This is my liberation. That bhav must have there. Kshanam is enough. You have the bhav. So he was listening. First day was finished. Bhagavad Gita Shravanam. When it's finished, when you do this, Devarthi, one of the knots busted. Second day, second knot busted. Every day a knot was busted. Dundukari was getting elevated. 7th day, when Bhagavad Shravanam is finished, and say, Satyam Param Dhimahi, when he finishes like that, the 7th knot was busted and Gokarna comes out with the Satsvarupam, the Tulasi Mala. And Vaikuntha, Vishnu's Devadas, angels come there, take him to Vaikuntha. And he do pranam to Gokarna. So other Brahmanas are saying, how come it is he gets this one? We were also listening the same way. Gokarna says, yes, but his intensity was so high. May you listen again. I will do Saptaham again. Please listen to the intensity. So he continues another Saptaham. They all listen with same intents and purposes. And because they still have to go through this cycle, they all go to what's called Goloka. Because this is something which is added maybe in the later years of Puranas. Golokam is the lokas of entering between Shaktiloka and Vaikuntham, where the Nitya Suris are there. Some legend. So Atmadeva thus finishes this thing. Sanat Kumara thus finishes Narada. Sutta Pauranika thus finishes the story to Shaunaka, all telling the stories and coming back to the same conclusion that in Kali Yuga, Bhagavata Mahatmyam, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam is Mokshitvam. So I finished with that. I took more time than what is allotted. I hope that is of some value. I take all the mistakes to my responsibility, because from many, many learners' knowledge, whatever little I understood, I talked to you. If all this has given you some incentive, motivation to listen to Bhagavad Saptakam somewhere, listen to Bhagavata Purana, Pravachanam, make you read Bhagavad text, I'll be happy. Om Purnamada Purnamidam
Purnamidam
Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnamudachyate
Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnayeva Vasishtaye
Vasishyate
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.